SHMACKEMAGOB and Bang Bang Pizza Skull. Look at that, man. I wish I had a watermelon. Alright, this is another donated track by track, and this is going to be a tough one because it's really going to sound like I dislike this album, which nothing could be further than the truth. And I'm not talking about Kiss Alive, because I love this album. But I also love Aerosmith Bootleg. But man, which one do I like more? This, and I hate to do this because, you know, I love this album. I think this album is very underrated, actually. But in ways, you know, a lot of people do love this album. But I will say this. This album is heralded as, oh, this is an album that is not fixed in the studio, unless, unlike this album. But just so some of you know, all the drums on here are live. Yes, Peter Criss, the badass, the only Catman. Nothing was changed on the drums on this, and it didn't. You know, this album had some touch-ups. It didn't have as much as like Alive 2, Alive 3, and so on. You know, there was a lot of it's live, in other words, but this one is like, you know, completely live. Now, I listened to both of these today. I mean, I love this. I heard this album like less than a month ago, and I listened to it again. And this one, I cranked it. I cranked it all day. And I'm listening to it, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, I think the reason people think this is completely live because of Steven Tyler. Steven Tyler's voice doesn't sound touched up at all. At all. And it kind of has that live feel. And I feel like it is live. But some of these songs, I could be wrong, okay? But I just feel like listening to some of these songs, I'm like, the band, it sounds like some of it could have been touched up, but who knows? Maybe they did play that good on drugs back then. But, alright, so let's do this, okay? This is going to be painful. Because I know, I just have a feeling. I haven't looked at the track by track, you know, battles of what's going against what. But I'm like, man, Kiss is going to win this. And I think it's going to win by far. And it's going to make it sound like I don't like Aerosmith Bootleg, which nothing could be further than the truth. I love this album. I bought this album as a little kid. This was actually, was it my first? I think my first Aerosmith album was the first album. And I love this. What's that infamous fucking Joe Perry picture, man? I love that. Now I don't see it. But there's a Joe Perry picture. This one, where he's holding that BC Rich. I love that picture of him. But anyway, okay, so let's do this. Shut up and keep going. Talk about the songs already. I hear you. I hear some idiot out there saying it, and that idiot isn't Kevin, because Kevin rules. Alright, so Deuce versus Back in the Saddle. Whew. I'm going with Kiss already. You know what I love about the live version of Back in the Saddle? Holy shit, I'm bald. Which, by the way, I did this, in case you missed the live feed, I did this spur of the moment. Actually, the night before, I was like, you know what, I want to shave my head, but let me give it a week. And then the next day I woke up, I'm like, fuck that, I'm going to shave my head right now. And I did. I love Back in the Saddle, the Firecrackers. It has such a live vibe of, you know, because I remember the early days of me going to shows, which my very first show was 79, so I missed, you know, the mid-70s craziness. But still, the late 70s, 79, and going into early 80s, there was a lot of fireworks in crowds, and they'd set it off and the crowd would go nuts. It always reminds me of those early shows I went to when I hear those firecrackers. And I love it, though. All right, then we got Strutter versus Sweet Emotion. I know it's going to sound like I'm hating on this album, but I'm not. I love the version of Sweet Emotion. I love that song, Never Get Burnt Out on it. But again, Strutter. All right, then we got to Choose versus Lord of the Thighs. Now, for those that watch my channel, you've heard me say stuff like, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Got to Choose. But the great Mr. D made me rank these albums and these songs on a previous episode, and man, Got to Choose is awesome live. I think it's really good. And it's still not one of my favorite songs. Now, Lord of the Thighs, this one is one of the... You see, the thing about the live bootleg is that a lot of these songs I don't feel like are better than the studio version, unlike the Kiss Alive version. But Lord of the Thighs on live bootleg, I like that version more. And I am giving it to that. And plus, yes, I like the song overall more than... Holy fuck, I'm bald. Overall, over Got to Choose. All right, then we got Hotter Than Hell versus Toys in the Attic. You know what? Another one for Aerosmith. Wow, that's good. Because it's a tie now. Okay. And I love Hotter Than Hell, by the way. Firehouse versus Last Child. Now, I've said this before. I'm not the biggest fan of Firehouse, and I'm not the biggest fan of Last Child. But I do love that solo in Firehouse. It's so good. Last Child is way better on live bootleg, if you ask me. It's got more grit, more fire. It's my least favorite song off Rocks. It's a song they always played live when I went to go see them. But I feel like this live bootleg version is better. So fuck, man. Aerosmith is in the lead. All right. I thought it was going to be worse than this. All right. Then we got Nothing to Lose versus Come Together. I'm going to give that one a kiss. I'm not really that crazy about this version, honestly. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad, but I do prefer the studio version from that horrible Sgt. Pepper movie, which also, I love that version of Come Together, and I also love Got to Get You Into My Life by Earth, Wind & Fire. Fantastic. All right, so it's a tie. This is a good battle, man. All right, then we got Come On and Love Me versus Walk This Way. Now, I said this before when I did the album battles. I like Come On and Love Me a lot. It's one of my favorite Kiss songs. Definitely, I would say, you know, not counting Black Diamond, it's my favorite Paul Stanley song from the first 3 albums. But it's my least favorite on Kiss Alive. I so prefer the studio version. And Walk This Way, I prefer the studio version as well, but I think it's better on live bootleg. I think it's a better song on live bootleg. And I would put Come On and Love Me way over Walk This Way overall as a song. But as far as these live versions go, I'm going with Aerosmith. Holy shit, Aerosmith is in the lead. That's crazy, man. All right, then we got Parasite versus Sick as a Dog. Man, that's tough. Sick as a Dog is amazing on here, but Parasite gets the point because it's just blistering. I can't stop touching this bald noodle. Yeah, I never knew. You know, I haven't shaved my head since I was 5 years old because I had lice. I never knew what a perfectly shaped egghead I had for always having long hair. All right, then we got She versus Dream On. Definitely Kiss. And Dream On is good on here. Now, that's the end of side 1 on the Kiss album, but we're already in side 3 in live bootleg. And I want to thank Kevin for doing his research because they do have the same amount of tracks. I was a little scared, Kevin, I'll be honest with you. When you asked for these 2 albums, I was like, dude, are they the same amount of tracks? And they are. Both have 16 tracks. All right, so now I'm going to pick an album, and let's go way down here. What do you say? We go down here and pick this one. I don't know. I think I have picked this, but I could be wrong. Not a lot of people know about this because a lot of people are like, what is that? This is an amazing Ozzy live album with Randy Rhoads that was released 12 years ago or so. It was part, on the CD, was part of the box set, or the remaster of, I think, either Diary or Blizzard. But when they released it on vinyl, because I had the CD and loved it, I bought this quick, and it was limited edition. This goes for over $100 now. This is an amazing live album, and I love Tribute, but I think this one's even better than Tribute. All right, let's keep going. Now we got Watching You. Love that song. Versus Chip Away at the Stone. Oh man. You know, at the time, for me, this is the only way I could hear Chip Away the Stone. I know it was released later, I believe on the box set and the amazing compilation Gems. I mean, if anybody wants to get into Aerosmith, I would recommend Gems. And I love this live version so much, and I love watching you so much, but you know what? I'm giving that one to Aerosmith. I just think Chip Away the Stone is better. Oh man, this is a great battle. I thought Kiss was going to wipe the floor. It's a tie 5-5 now. This is an awesome battle. All right, then we got 100,000 Years versus Cypher So Rise. That song, there's something about that song that gets stuck in my head a lot of times. I always say, Cypher So Rise, but I gotta go with Kiss. And I love Cypher So Rise. I love the studio version. I say it's tied. Studio version, live version is tied. But Kiss is Kiss. 100,000 Years is godly. Now, Black Diamond, I don't know what it's going against, but I would be shocked if it loses. Because that's blistering. And if you didn't see my Kiss ranking, Kiss Alive ranking, that's not my favorite song on the album. It used to be, but it was different. And I like to see how that one can possibly lose. So Black Diamond is going against Mama Kin. And Mama Kin, I prefer this live version. Smokes, man. But Kiss, Black Diamond, I'm giving it to that. All right, now we're down to the last side on Kiss Alive, but not on the last side of Live Bootleg. And we got Rock Bottom versus SOS. Again, I prefer SOS. The live version over Get Your Wings, but I love the Get Your Wings version. And I would say the same thing about Rock Bottom here, opposed to Dress to Kill, but I'm giving this one a Rock Bottom. I just think it has a little more fire in it. All right, then Cold Gin versus I Ain't Got You. I dig it, especially when Brad Whitford goes off. But I gotta go with Cold Gin. All right, and then we got Rock and Roll All Night versus Mother Popcorn. I know a lot of people disagree here. Mother Popcorn's like a James Brown song, kind of funky, you know, but I don't like it. I'm sorry, I just don't. I like Rock and Roll All Night. I prefer the studio version, but I think this version smokes. I'm not burnt out like most of you. All right, a little bit, but not like most of you. I'm giving that one a Kiss. All right, last song. Favorite song off the album. Let Me Go Rock and Roll. I think it's the best song. I remember when I put up the video, there was somebody that left a negative comment saying, "How Let Me Go Rock and Roll is terrible on the live album, man. Listen to me, man. Pay attention to me." The guy was a moron. All right, and that's going against Train Kept a Rollin' is awesome, but I would say I prefer the Get Your Wings version with oh my God, why am I having a brain fart? That guitar player. Damn it, that played on Sweet Pain. Oh man, why am I having a brain fart? He passed away. It starts with a D, I think. Oh, whatever. You see me write it here. And that's going against, well, no. I'm giving that one a Kiss. Well, Kiss did, oh man, Kiss did win by a lot, but for a while there, they were kind of neck and neck, but man, Kiss got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and Aerosmith got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so yeah, more than double. But hey, that's the way it goes. Now, I know a lot of you people out there hate Kiss and love Aerosmith, so put your comments below. And those that love them both, I care about your opinions more. But those that, you know, don't even know this or are just like Kiss tards and don't have appreciation for both of these, those that love them both these live albums. Those are the comments. Non-biased comments, like what you just saw here. So Kevin, thank you so much, man, for the donation. You rule, man. And I hope you liked what I did. And if you like to donate, I got a PayPal in the description below. Right on. And if you like to subscribe, please do. I hope you like to subscribe, because if you don't, God, you really suck. So subscribe. Stop sucking. And bang, bang, pizza skulls, that notification bell. Right on, everybody. Stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath. And SHMACKEMAGOB.